Okay, everybody, you saw that title. So today we're going to be doing some beef with broccoli. So here we have our pound of beef. This is beef round that's cut into strips. You can cut it yourself, but I was able to buy it in the supermarket already pre-cut. So we're just going to start out with adding some things to the beef. So I'm going to let's start off with some soy sauce. Here I'm going to add a tablespoon of soy sauce, and then a tablespoon of cornstarch. And what we're going to do is just mix that up. So you just want to try to get the soy sauce and the cornstarch on each of the pieces. While I'm waiting, let me go ahead and add some, while I'm mixing this, I should go ahead and add a little bit of canola oil to the pan while the pan is heating up. So let me go ahead and add some canola oil. So you just want enough. Then we're going to be stir frying these beef strips. So let's kind of finish mixing this up. And you see it turning like a little white, cloudy. That's from our cornstarch. Alrighty. So this looks well enough incorporated. So now I'm just going to set this aside for a bit while we work on our sauce. So we're going to start with 1 cup. Here we have a cup of beef broth. I'm going to add about, I want to say a couple of drops. I was going to measure, but just a couple of drops of some sesame oil. Some soy sauce. I'm going to add about a half a tablespoon soy sauce. And then you're going to be adding some cornstarch. So let's get another tablespoon of the cornstarch, and this is what we're going to be using in the end to make our gravy. You can also add one more item, some brown sugar. So you can either use brown sugar or you can use honey, but I'm going to add a couple of tablespoons of some brown sugar once we get our beef cooking. So I'm just going to let this sit, rest this aside, and we can move right on over into preparing our beef. So here we have the beef. Let's go straight into over here to our pan. So here we have our oil already warming up. I use canola oil. So what you want to do is not overcrowd the pot. And you want to cook them in batches depending on how much you have. So I'm just going to go ahead and get some in there. You want to have it on like a medium heat, so you want to be able to get a nice brown crust on your strips. So try to separate them so they're not too clumped up on top of each other. I don't know why I didn't just move this whole bowl. So here we go. Alright, so you're going to let these sear until they get a nice brown color, and then we're going to turn them over to the other side. Okay, so here's our first set. You see some nice caramelization on those pieces. So I'm going to go ahead and get these out and go on to cooking our next set. So here we go. Let's get these out. So we're just going to do the same thing that we did with our first set. We're going to cook these until you see a nice brown caramelization on one side, and then turn them over to the other side. So I'm going to go ahead, cook this next set off, and it looks like I might have to do 3. So I'll go ahead and cook all of this down, and then we'll come back with the next steps. Okay, so here we have all our beef that is cooked now. So now that our beef is finished cooking, we're going to go ahead and put that aside and come back to our pot. And we're going to start by adding some minced garlic, a tablespoon of each. I have minced garlic and some minced ginger. So I'm just going to put that right in there in the same pot. Turn it up to like a medium heat. If your pot is dry, like mine is a little bit dry, so I'm going to just add just a drop more of oil, just a little, so it's just not super dry. And I'm just going to cook the garlic and the ginger for about 1.5 minutes. Let that sit for a couple seconds. So what I want to talk to you about now is the sauce. So here we have our gravy that we pre-made. The only thing I didn't add before was the brown sugar, and I have some brown sugar which I'm adding about 2 tablespoons now. One thing I will say is that if you do not have dark soy, I did not. Dark soy really gives it a nice flavor and the color that you really want to see, a nice dark brown gravy in your beef and broccoli. You can add a little bit of browning or gravy master. So I had browning, so I added a little bit of browning to really help give it a nice color. So I'm just going to go ahead and pour that in a little bit. So here we go. Let's pour all of our gravy in, and at this time we're going to go ahead and add our broccoli to start steaming. You want the broccoli to go ahead and steam in the sauce. So you want to turn that up. Bring it to a nice boil. Okay, this has been simmering for 2 minutes, and as you can see, it has thickened up nicely. I don't need to add any additional cornstarch. I wasn't too sure, but this is good right here. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and incorporate back the beef into the pot. And let's just mix it all up and get our beef covered with that nice sauce. Let me get my pot holder. That would be smart. Give that a quick toss. And our beef and broccoli is ready. You can add onions if you like. I don't particularly care for onions with broccoli, so just beef and broccoli with the seasonings, no additional vegetables for me. And this is ready to plate. Okay, so here we have it, everybody. Our beef and broccoli is done. So let me go ahead and give that a quick try. Get a piece of broccoli. And now the beef. Definitely flavorful, and I'm hoping that you will enjoy it as much as I will. Now that was my take on making a flavorful beef and broccoli. If you like Chinese takeout, give it a try, and hopefully you will enjoy it as much as I will. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and I will see you again next time. Thanks for watching.